Hi, this is Richard Neal. You know me as Aratak in Horizon Zero Dawn, and you're listening to Real Dudes Podcast.
This week on Real Dudes Podcast, Karrington goes all in on a review of Awesome Pea. Following that, Kyle dives into the world of Escaped Chasm, a game created by Undertale's very own artist, Temi Chang. After that, we go into a little news, and then Karrington and Cody discuss with Kyle the benefits of building a PC and how to do it cheaply. So sit back, relax, put your earbuds on, turn the volume up, hold on to your butts. Welcome to the Realest of Dudes podcast. My name is Kyle, and with me, we've got Cody,
Hi, all.
and we've got Karrington.
Hey.
And we are recording a little late tonight, but
Yes.
we want to make sure that we provide your ears with some of the finest audio of indie gaming, video gaming, news, nerd culture, all the hoopla.
Hoopla! I just bless you with our voices. La 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 la.
So, this episode, we've got 2 game reviews for you. We've got a little bit of news, and then we've got an off topic that is more focused to our PC Master Race crowd.
PC Master Race! All day!
So I think we have an exciting show. And the games that we're reviewing is one, Awesome Pea, which is a retro-like platformer that Karrington is going to go into. And then just a couple days ago, Escaped Chasm was announced and released. It is a short game brought to you by one of the main artists of Undertale. That would be Temi Chang. So yeah, that's what we got in store for you. Guys, how's your week been going?
Interesting.
It's a long week.
Yes.
Are we talking long work?
Everything.
Everything.
It just seems like I want it to be weekend already. I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
Yes, I can completely agree with that. It seems like this week has lasted long, and particularly just with work in general has been long, and I've hardly had like any time to play games. It's kind of sad.
That does sound sad.
Yeah.
Living that sad life, yo.
Yep.
I haven't had a lot of time for gaming either. I've been having headaches.
Probably should get that checked out.
I think I will. I was talking to Donovan today. He's like, you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, fine.
Yeah, going to the doctor is not very awesome. But do you know what is awesome?
What's that?
Peas.
Yes. That is a word for this game. Awesome Pea. And yes, when I say awesome pea, I literally mean the vegetable.
Like the little green pea thing?
Yes. The little green vegetable. So Kyle, when you gave me this game, I'm like, oh sweet, yeah, a little platform. I can use a little platform on my life. This is awesome. And it literally looks like a Game Boy game. It's got that green tint to it, and I'm like, yes, this is cool.
Yeah. Well, is it cool?
So here's the thing. I start up the game, and it's on Switch, by the way, for all you crazy kids out there. And Cody's being crazy, sending me stuff privately. Yeah, so Awesome Pea is. I don't even know where to begin. So the game starts up and it's got a very vintage look to it. Even almost like the way it's set up. The screen is kind of distorted as if it's on a very like old TV almost. So it's even got like a very old when you think retro, it's not just the way it looks, but the way like even the screen looks itself as well, which I thought was pretty cool. So you can turn that off on the settings if you want to. I mean, that is totally up to you. I did not because I just wanted to experience it with the default settings, but there are settings you can kind of mess with the way the game looks itself if that's your thing. So, Kyle, you sent this to me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah, I can play this game. It's awesome. It's got very 16-bit style graphics look to it. So, I mean, when I say this game looks like it could be on the Game Boy, it looks like it could be on a Game Boy. Like it's pretty cool and pretty awesome in that way.
That's like a throwback you don't normally see though, because we get the
Right.
like 16-bit and like the 8-bit stuff, but a game that is stylized, for OG Game Boy, I mean, it seems pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no doubt, and it's that's what grabbed me from the trailer, and also just from as soon as I started the game up, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. So right off the bat, one thing I did not enjoy was the music. It's not only does it look like a Game Boy game, but it sounds like it as well, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. So in this case, I just didn't take to it. My ears were like it was like nails on a chalkboard as far as like just the sound effects were fine. It was the music. I was just like this. I'm not feeling this.
Is it very repetitive or just
Yes,
okay.
yeah. So you will hear the same song in each level. So get used to it. And this game, I probably died 15 to 20 times on the first level. And then I said, Kyle, you're an awful person for sending this to me.
Sorry.
It's all right. Like, I don't mind games that are tough and hard. Like, that's fine and dandy. Like, I don't care. I just wasn't expecting it out of this, this little retro game, So once I like grasped like that, hey, that's what this game is about. Then I started having fun because I just wasn't expecting it. Because it was just like, what is this? What's going on? And so once I got used to it and figure out like what the game was about, like, oh, it's one of those games that where it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be hard, like Miles and Kilo, which we've reviewed previously, which is kind of one of those hard platformers. So or Super Meat Boy, like one of those things, where it's just a platformer. You're gonna die a lot. It's not crazy hard though, like as far as in that vein of those games that I mentioned, um, because there were some I didn't die at all, went straight through it. Um, there were some most levels after that first level, I probably died on average probably about 3 or 4 times before I beat it.
That's
So
not bad.
now I never did I ever feel like, oh my gosh, I want to throw my Switch across the room and just like totally and just rage. I never felt in that rage mode, I never felt that mad or that thought the levels were that difficult. Does get pretty crazy, of course, as you go on, but at the same time, it would still fit that 3 to 5 time death limit that I had going on between each level. So, but I mean, the only thing I would really complain about though would be the hitboxes. Sometimes they're a little inconsistent, but it wasn't consistent. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm dying in the same spot every single time, or I'm having this particular problem every single time. So just every once in a while, you'll just die when you hit an enemy or something like that, even though you feel like you didn't hit it or you missed them or whatever. So yeah. I mean, overall though, it was pretty solid though.
So the game's a platformer at heart.
Mm-hmm.
How is the platforming in the game? I mean, you mentioned that you die 3, 4, 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is platforming fun? Is it relatable to like classic platformers like Mario or Mario.
No, I wouldn't say it's kind of like a Mario at all because there's like no power ups. You can't kill the enemies or anything like that. But the platforming itself, the level designs were pretty fun to explore because after I finished the level, I would often go back and replay said level because I would see a different path, or I just went back to try and collect there's collectibles throughout each level, trying to get all the collectibles, and you have free roam to go left and right.
Okay.
So it's not like Miles and Kilo where you're just going to the right constantly kind of thing. You have choice to go left or right. Like it doesn't matter. Um, you have a double jump. Yeah, I mean that's it. And you're just
Okay.
either avoiding um, obstacles, you're avoiding enemies, or trying to just not fall off and die.
Okay. So, I mean, it does sound just like a basic platformer at heart.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The story of the game, is there any kind of story, or are you just kind of collecting gold as you go through and becoming a greedy, filthy rich pea?
So that was one thing I was kind of shocked about. There was no any kind of story or introduction. You just start playing.
Okay.
So in that sense, it kind of did remind me of a classic game because games from back in the day, like a Mario, you just start playing. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
tell you anything. Just boom, there you go. Unless you read the manual that says "Save the Princess" kind of thing. But I mean, I don't recall a manual with Awesome Pea, so I don't know of any setup or anything. It's just boom, you go.
Okay. So that's that. I don't know. Sounds like an interesting game.
Yeah.
Probably good for people that enjoy those retro platformers.
Yes, and if you're looking for a nice little challenge to kind of maybe hold you over to the next kind of thing, I would recommend it in that sense. If I were to give it a rating, I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
So it wasn't a bad game or anything. Like I said, my only real complaint was the music, really, and be prepared to hear it over and over again.
Just put your headphones in and listen to something else while you're playing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Which is what I did actually.
Nice. It's not a terrible rating for a game,
Yeah.
especially something as cheap as it is on the Nintendo eShop. It's $5.99.
Yeah, that's about what I would pay for it.
Okay, well that is.
I wish I could say more, but it's very straightforward in
Yeah.
everything that it is.
I mean, that's pretty much how Game Boy games were.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Exactly.
yeah. There's not a whole lot to them, and they're challenging, and the music is repetitive.
Because I know that when Donovan and I last reviewed a game, it was Sky Gamers, and we spent like 20 minutes talking about it. I can't really do that with Awesome
Mhm.
P. It's not that kind of game. There's no voice
Not a
acting
lot
storyline.
to
Oh,
it,
no,
yeah.
there's not a whole lot of substance there. But that's not a complaint either for it. It
Yeah.
is what it is. You go through it. You either love it or not like it. It's up
Yeah.
to you if you like those kinds of games or not.
Well, so that's Awesome P by Sometimes You, and pick that up on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. So I couldn't escape from Awesome P like I could other games.
Mm-hmm.
But you, Kyle, you played
Oh,
Escaped
boy.
Chasm.
Yes. So, Escaped Chasm is by the artist of Undertale, which is interesting because we just recently did the retro review of Undertale. And
Yeah.
this game came out 2 days ago, and it's very short. I think it
I
took me
was gonna
about
say I was surprised because you sent a tweet out and I'm like, didn't that game just come out?
yeah. It's got multiple endings, and it is 15 to 20 minutes long.
Is it free or do you have to pay for it?
It's free. Well, okay. So the way that it's set up is, you can donate.
Oh,
So you
it's
can
one of
either
those. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah, which is fantastic. So you like it, you donate. You don't like it, you should still donate and support the developer because especially with this. So just to give you a brief story of the game. It's not very long, so I'm not going to go super into the story. You are a lonely girl looking for her parents that is going kind of like in and out of this uh, alternate universe is this different dimension, in and outside of your own head type of thing. And you're dealing with loneliness in the game.
Oh, I like where
So
this is going.
there's not a whole lot of characters in the game. And the way that you play through it is you kind of do various things around the house that kind of lead to clues to where your parents are. And then once you kind of find a clue, you go to bed and start another day. So you go through a cycle of a few days and then eventually get to the end of the game. And it leaves you with the decision of whether you should do one thing or another, and that'll end the game. It's difficult because
Okay.
I don't want to ruin this experience for you guys. Especially if you liked Undertale, you were the one that said to me, "Well, Undertale is a lot like Doki Doki in a way."
Mm-hmm.
Well, Doki Doki and Escaped Chasm are similar in a way too. Like creepy things happen in the game, weird things happen in the game. You encounter weird characters in the game, and it's kind of it's dark, you know.
Okay.
Um, man, I wish. See, I wish this game was longer so I could give more details about it. But
Okay.
it's literally like one of those things. Like if you watch a playthrough of this game, if you listen to someone talk about this game, you're gonna know the ending, and you're gonna, it's gonna be spoiled for you. And I highly encourage you guys to play through this because once you get through it, I've only played through it once, but I know the multiple endings of the game. Uh, Once you play through it, at least the ending that I got allowed me to uh, talk to the developer of the game at the end. So, like, this isn't part of the game at all. I mean, this is its own thing. So, once you get through it, you're kind of in this other universe, and then, man, I feel like I'm spoiling this in a way. You chat with,
Welcome to Real Dudes,
yeah,
the
You chat with-
podcast where we spoil video games.
Exactly. Yep.
you chat with Timmy Chang at the end of the game and kind of discusses like, well, hey, I made this game. It's real short, but this is why I made it. There's a comment like, if you like what you see here, hire me. I'll be glad to to work for you or something. And then also starts describing, like, going into discussion of the characters of the game, what was the purpose of the game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, that is in a way a spoiler, but it doesn't ruin the actual story of the game itself.
Okay.
That makes sense. The game music was done by Toby Fox, who is the creator of Undertale.
I saw that and I'm like, that's what made me kind of want to pay attention to the game as well.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, Undertale's music is iconic and it's only been out for a few years.
Yep. And the music to this is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be iconic in its own way, but it's very repetitive as well. And if the game wasn't 15 or 20 minutes long, it would be extremely annoying, playing through it for a few hours.
Oh, so it's not even an hour long.
No, it literally, I played it. I mean, I think you could probably drag it out for 30 minutes at most.
Okay. Because I'm looking at the website now. I would suggest just Googling Escaped Chasm because the web address is not some. I mean, it's not like a bad word or anything, but it's just it's not something I could really repeat because it's not a word.
Where you download it?
Yeah.
So that's all right. So the website is toyoki.itch.io.
Mm-hmm. You are right.
So Toyoki is the developer's Twitter handle. And then it's on it's itch.io. I don't know what itch.io is. Like, I'm new to this whole computer thing.
Itch.io is basically an indie platform,
Okay.
more or less. That's the very basic, simple version.
Yeah. And so if you look at the screenshots and stuff, the game looks similar to kind of like an Undertale, the art direction. It's that 2D. I don't know. I would almost say Game Boy-esque kind of game. Like it
Okay.
reminds me of a Pokemon or something. The way
Okay.
that the world's built out, but it was also made on RPG Maker.
That's impressive because you
Yeah.
don't see a whole lot of those that are actually decent.
Right. So, like I said, if I could just kind of wrap up the story, you're a lonely girl searching for your parents. You run into weird characters. You start splitting into different dimensions, going in and out of your head and stuff. And at the end of the game, you're left with a decision whether to do a certain thing or not do a certain thing. I highly, I say play this game, especially if you like Undertale, especially if you like Doki Doki. And technically, it's free. I encourage you to, donate to Temi Chang and support, because what she is doing is amazing with this. And the game, is just kind of an idea of what she wants to do for a bigger game. So I would love to see more from this. I would love to see, I don't know. I'd love to see a longer game with this lonely girl. And in between days, when you sleep, you go through these dreams that kind of turn into nightmares as well that you watch. The artwork is really it's done well. It's very simple, but it's done in a very captivating way, I guess you could say.
So if I'm a fan of Undertale and I start to play this game, can I tell that it's the same artist, similar? Is it the same exact art style? Do they kind of just really make it their own?
It's actually, some of the art in the game is better than Undertale. Like some of the cutscenes and stuff is more detailed than Undertale. The basic gameplay itself is very Undertale-esque, and then, like I said, the cutscenes with the dreams and stuff kind of show similarities of Undertale. Just because Undertale, the art direction, even when during the review that we did of it, I didn't think that the art was super impressive. Like, that's not what stood out to me in the game. And the same with this one, the art is good, but it's not what stood out to me in the game.
Okay.
But you can definitely see similarities between the two games if you were to look at them side by side.
Okay.
So I'm excited to play through this more. Like I said, it's a free game technically. So even if you don't donate anything, play it, let your friends know about it, let them play it, and then it's a good discussion point, because it's really kind of a psychological thriller type of game.
Okay. So this is what I want to do. Have all of us have a chance to play it, and then we'll have a spoiler-filled episode on it, because it sounds like if it's
how about we do that for the next episode? We'll do that as our off topic.
Okay, because it was really hard to, like, with something like with oh my gosh, why can't I think of the name?
Doki Doki?
No, well, yeah, even with Doki Doki, we had to get into spoilers.
Yeah.
Because you can't discuss it without getting into those kinds of things.
And like I said, this game is 15, 20 minutes long. I mean, you all can play it. I think this would be great for us to discuss. And, we would love to have a Timmy on here.
That would be fantastic.
So, yeah. I mean, just discuss her ideas behind Escaped Chasm, and I don't know, just chat about it. Because this game, I don't know, I want you guys to play it. I want you all to play it, and you'll let me know what you think. Rating this game, it's short, it's free. I want there to be more of it. The story left me kind of like, man, there's got to be, like, I think there's a whole lot, like, the whole other layer to this that I haven't kind of like not discovered or thought about. But I'd give this a solid 8.5.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, man, Doki Doki caught you by surprise. This game, I think, will too.
Okay. I'll check it out. And I'll tell Donovan to check it out. And let's do this.
Yeah. We'll do it. Next big episode. So that's Escaped Chasm by Temi Chang. Temmie Chang. I really hope that I'm pronouncing that right. Check it out. And that you can download it for free. Just Google it, Escape Chasm. It's literally the first thing that comes up is the website to download it. And it's free.
Oh, yeah.
Just real quick, if you look at the user rating for the game, there's only 43 votes, but it's got a 4.9 out of 5. So
I'm surprised it doesn't have more just from the star power it has behind it.
I think that people are starting to slowly discover it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I just noticed it this morning. I was like, I gotta check this out since I'm fresh off Undertale. So, yeah, check it out. Escaped Chasm, Timmy Chang. Hey everyone, this week's episode of Real Dudes Podcast is brought to you by Skin It. Based out of San Diego, these guys and gals allow you to personalize your own electronic devices from smartphones, everyone has smartphones, to gaming devices. I would be surprised if you're listening to this podcast and you don't own a gaming device, to laptops and much more. Their products is the highest of quality using 3M adhesive vinyl with patented air release technology. Think of that, air released. All gone. That leaves no residue at all, which that's very impressive. So express yourself by creating something new and unique to yourself, or use one of their top brands to show other people what you like. That's right, ladies and gents. If you're looking for custom electronic devices, then Skinit is for you. Head on over to www.skinit.com. Use promo code RealDudes25 at checkout to receive 25% off today.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
If you like video games, debates, and silly banter, you'll love Gamerheads Podcast.
Outside of your store, because I do feel like your store knows its identity. I do. I think that you guys know what you are. No?
Not always.
Really?
He sells fidget spinners.
Well,
Not anymore.
I mean, for a while. but
not
I mean,
anymore.
Not,
We're
not,
experimenting
not
with our
anymore.
that's what I'm saying, though. You were just experimenting.
golf was made by a Japanese guy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go Iwata.
yeah,
Speaking
Oh,
of
the game.
Yeah, not the
Okay.
sport.
yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, huh.
Well, speaking of Nintendo,
Follow Gamerheads on Podbean at gamerheadspodcast.podbean.com.
Welcome back to Real Dudes Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed those fine, sweet ads. Ka-chow. Ka-chow. So this week in news, we don't have a whole lot going, but there are a couple things. One not gaming related, but kind of more cultural related. The Joker trailer that Joaquin Phoenix is starring in. We discussed this a little bit ago, a few episodes ago, and now there's an actual trailer release. The movie's coming out in October, I think.
Yep.
I am personally excited for this game, and I know the majority of people are not, but I am excited for it. My question is, are you guys excited for it?
I am excited for it. I'm excited to see a new take on the character. Joaquin Phoenix is a method actor like Jared Leto is, so he's gonna have a far different take. Well, and so is Heath Ledger. He was also a method actor, so we're
I'm
gonna see it.
intrigued.
Yeah, for sure. And Joaquin Phoenix definitely goes all the way. He's either all in or he's all in. Like there is no other. Like he even went so far as to announce his retirement and say he was going to become a rapper, all because of a character. And he fully committed to it in interviews and everything. So that's how committed he is when he becomes a character.
So I think we can look at Jared Leto and Heath Ledger, both playing Jokers. They're both method actors. Heath Ledger is the best Joker.
Wait. Best Joker in a live action movie.
Okay.
Because Mark Hamill is my Joker.
All right. I mean, yeah, that is true. I mean, his voice is definitely iconic for Joker.
Yes,
but
yes.
compared to Jared Leto's Joker, I did not care for that at all.
Yeah, me neither.
It was
Different.
different.
And I think this Joker is going to be different as well. But
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is
He's got the look. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole look and the tone of the movie, they have it down, which is the problem with Jared Leto's Joker. They just went in such a completely different direction, and not just a different direction, like the way everything just
it's like a
didn't
punk rock Joker.
work. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it worked as well. And going back to like the general population of people that are talking about this that don't like it, some of the complaints that I've heard about it is that he is sympathetic in the trailer. Like
That's what,
he shows a
Yeah.
sign of sympathy. How do you feel about that? Because I think in a way he shows sympathy sometimes throughout the movies, throughout the comics and stuff, but that didn't really stand out to me so much in the trailer.
what do you think, Cody?
About what specifically?
First of all, the look, because you didn't say much, and then from what's given to you in the trailer story wise.
Like his character in general.
I don't know. We've had so many past Joker, like not, I don't know about origins, but you have Joker has such a distinguished story to him. I don't want a new storyline is going to be hard to grasp at first. The look of it looks good. He's not as psychopathic as I may have wanted it to be, kind of like a Heath Ledger Joker, Dark Knight type thing. But he seems to grasp it, and like the thin, deformed, doesn't really care for his physical being type look seems to fit Joker a little bit. So it'll be interesting. I've only seen the one trailer, and it's hard to pull a movie from one trailer.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I'm intrigued, but I'm curious to see like how the next trailer looks, or if we're supposed to get it this fall, see what the whole movie looks like.
So with the trailer itself, and then you think about it being comparing that to Leto's and Ledger's Joker, I mean, those guys have been far like into the storyline as Joker. So obviously, I personally think they're going to be more psychopathic and demented and crazy than Joaquin Phoenix, where he is starting out as a normal person and then developing into Joker. If that makes sense. So like they've been set in their ways for a long time, and he is slowly getting into the character of Joker. So, I mean, is there still normal human traits within Joaquin's character that eventually is being turned into evil traits, and he's starting to show this different side of himself and becoming the Joker? Is it going to be the normal Joker origin story where he does fall into that vat of chemicals that kind of transforms him into the crazy person that the Joker is? I mean, the trailer doesn't show that, but it kind of just shows him dealing with getting beat up by people and stuff, and kind of transforming, from being this street clown to this crazy person.
And I will say, because a lot of people I've seen that have been complaining on just the internet in general, and a couple of Facebook groups that I'm in, they're saying that he was dropped in acid. It should be that origin story, and any other origin story, they don't want to see or hear about. But I do want to make it a point, like if it is makeup and not basically falling into acid. I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker is obviously all makeup, because that makeup it deteriorates throughout the film, and then towards the end of the film he redoes it. So
Yeah, but
it comes on and off as at will, and we see him without the makeup in one scene for like a split second.
But he still has the scars on his face.
Yeah, he still has the scars on his face, so there's that. But how he got those scars, Well, I mean, he gave us different
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
But with that, like, Joker was developed when that movie was made. It wasn't an origin type thing.
Right.
So who knows? Like, he could have fallen in acid and his body developed a different way. So you never really had that effect of was he or was he not. And with an origin, we've all developed an origin of Joker in our minds
Mhm.
or through comic books or the animated films. And that acid part just seems like a big part of it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's before Batman and before any of that stuff happened. But I'm worried it develops too far into like crime boss mob Joker before any of that stuff would happen.
Mm-hmm.
I would be interested to see if they kind of built this up to have a sequel or not, because there's no way they can fill all this stuff in one movie unless it's extremely long. I would almost argue a TV show would serve better if you're trying to develop a character,
Mm-hmm.
especially one as iconic as the Joker.
Yeah. I don't know. Or just give us a 3-hour movie.
Just give us a 3-hour movie. There you go.
Like Gotham did a good job with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
I
you
agree.
had Jerome What's Not as basically the Joker in development
Mhm.
as like a young adult, and that was like a good build to how Joker developed, like who he was and whatnot.
Mhm. I agree.
They did a good job with that one, I think.
Well, what kind of irks me, the creators are constantly going, "Oh, that's not the Joker. It's not the Joker." I'm like, you're clearly
Like,
giving
yeah,
us the
it
Joker
is.
through that
Yeah,
character.
it is.
Stop lying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the movie is obviously going to irritate people. Critics
course.
probably won't enjoy it that much, but there's also going to be a crowd of people that do enjoy it, and I'm wanting to be one of those people because there's not many times that you get an origin movie of one of your favorite villains or just villains in general.
That's true.
It's usually all about heroes and stuff. So this is going to be a different take on comics. And even if it's a different take on Joker himself, someone else's vision, it still will be interesting to see. And it's still more lore about Joker.
And you know what we're getting 1 month after Joker in November?
What? Oh, wait, what?
The Sonic the Hedgehog movie, baby.
All right.
Oh God, that's for
Especially
another episode.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the trailer dropped today at a comic book convention, or no, a film convention. No, it did, for real. It just hasn't released on the internet yet. I'm dead serious.
Okay.
2 trailers released today that have not been released, that you cannot see yet.
What's the other one?
One is a Sonic-centric trailer. The other one is a Dr. Robotnik-centric trailer.
Oh, interesting.
And the way this movie sounds, it's going to be so bad, it's going to be great.
Oh.
No, one of those.
I'm excited. All right, something about video games here. I was reading through Game Informer earlier today, and so one of their most recent articles, Prince Harry calls to ban Fortnite.
I saw that.
All right, so someone is banning Fortnite.
Not just anyone. We're talking about Prince Harry here. He just created an Instagram yesterday, and he already has over 1 million followers.
Holy moly, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I guess the Guinness Book of World Records said he got the 1 million followers in just about 5 hours.
Wow.
Which is the quickest anyone has ever reached the 1 million followers. Yeah. And then he does this. Yeah.
So, just quoting from the article, this is what Prince Harry told the crowd. It shouldn't be allowed. Where's the benefit of having it in your household? It's created to addict. An addiction to keep you in front of a computer for as long as possible, and it's so irresponsible. It's like waiting for the damage to be done and kids turning up on your doorsteps and families being broken down. That is the worst Prince Harry accent ever. But so Prince Harry is wanting to ban Fortnite. Like,
So
I don't know what to say about. Like, it's crazy
it is very crazy.
in a good way. Sorry.
I understand what he's trying to say. Like, hey, we have this worldwide problem of all these kids. All they want to do is play video games, especially Fortnite and yada yada yada. But no, that's not the way to do it or talk about it.
I agree. 100% with that. Yeah.
There's a YouTuber I watch. That's how I get my news information. Philip DeFranco. Let's just jump into it. And so he talked about it today on today's episode about this, and he brought out a fantastic point about how video games. There was a study done with a lot of the kids, and a lot of the kids turn to Fortnite after like a divorce, like parents divorcing or something big happened, and that's just their go-to to try and cope with what's going on and things like that. So, in a way, video games are making us. It's just really another way to escape. Kind of even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes. Some people go to music, some people go maybe to art or watching television or movies. Video games is just another one of those things on said list. But really, if one of your, I was just gonna say really quick, like it's really up to the parents to really police how long their kids are spending on anything. It doesn't even matter what it is. Because they do have responsibilities as kids, whether it be chores, homework, or and just living a life.
But you do realize that it's more than just kids that play Fortnite.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, yes, Fortnite is designed to make you want to play more and more because it's a business, like everything else in this world is. It's not just Fortnite that's guilty of this, or video games that are guilty of this.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, it sounded like you cut out.
Oh, did I cut out? Okay. I thought something was weird.
So
I was just saying, like, all businesses are created to get you to use their product as much as possible. It's not just Fortnite that's guilty of this.
So, but Prince Harry, when he's talking about this, he also compares it to social media as well, and he mentions it being more addictive than narcotics and alcohol.
I don't know about that. Where did he get that from?
It might just be words that are coming out of his mouth. But, I mean, for someone as big as him to present this and make it a topic of discussion, like, I don't know. I hate Fortnite, so I kind of agree with him.
I get it. But I think the problem is that even though we all of us here really don't like Fortnite,
right?
I think we can all say that. But the problem is when people who aren't gamers are going to look at this and associate Fortnite with just video games in general.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. To me, that's the problem with that statement.
And that is a problem because, if the general public relates video games to like Fortnite, I don't know, you think like the big contenders of games, Fortnite, Overwatch, Call of Duty, Tetris. Where was I going with this? It kind of brands video games bad in general.
Right.
Whereas, if people have never gone and played games like Undertale, Inside, What Remains of Edith Finch, Rhyme, like there's so many games out there that do good, that help people get through things, that promote a good message. Like,
I agree. And then the really bad thing with video games and having a stigmatism, like it's really hard to get over it. Because if I say movies, you're not going to automatically think of a movie.
Star Wars.
Okay, that's fair. But I mean, if you go up to someone and just say movies, they're not going to have a positive or negative connotation on a specific franchise, like immediately to their mind. With video games, right now, it's Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah.
Everyone's wearing Fortnite shirts. Everybody's doing the Fortnite dances. Everybody is talking about Fortnite.
Yeah, so I don't know.
And I can
One
see
of these days.
Yeah, I can see where he's coming from. Like, I'm sure that you can't escape Fortnite. That's why I hate it
Right.
so much.
Mm-hmm.
Is because it's everywhere. It's a drug.
And the other thing too is just like, I mean, it's probably pretty obvious. Prince Harry's not a gamer talking about something that he doesn't know a whole lot about. It's just something he's probably experienced either through the internet or the world
General
around him
public.
or
Yeah,
general public or just whatever. And I mean, I'm always in the camp of don't knock it till you try it.
that's true. Maybe he's so scared. He's constantly hating on it that he
Yeah.
might get addicted to it.
Oh,
Yeah, Prince Harry,
Pretty-
where you at now, boy? Oh well. So yeah, I mean, those were just kind of the couple of news items that I thought would be interesting to discuss. And the fact that someone as royal as Prince Harry brought up that Fortnite shouldn't be allowed is it's pretty rad and stupid at the same time.
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So, speaking of Fortnite and PC video games, let's go to our off topic.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
All right, guys. So last week I started buying things for the computer because one, I'm irritated with how slow it runs, and two, I realized that there are games on Steam and now itch.io.
Mhm.
Is that how it is?
I mean, you're not using Epic Game Store?
I was just about to say the same thing.
I haven't even been exposed to that yet.
And it is Itch.io, by the way.
Itch.io. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I apologize. I'm new to this whole thing. I bought a few things for my computer to upgrade it. Hopefully, I'll be able to play some of the games that we get, and then be able to work with like OBS and streaming. Maybe that's kind of a goal.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
hopefully, make some content. But so I'm laying it all out here. It
Mhm.
wasn't nearly as expensive as I thought it was going to be. It still was a little pricey, but not terrible.
You're still less than a console and building a brand new PC from scratch.
Right, which is nice. And I don't know, it's nice in general to just be able to pull up tabs and open software and stuff without having my computer slow down to the point where it's going to break. So I am designating you guys as the Real Dudes PC gurus, and I'm sure Donovan fits in here too.
For sure.
And I thought discussing like PC gaming 101 would be a fun thing to do on here for this episode. Maybe just kind of, I don't know, this might kind of turn into a small interview type thing in a way.
Ooh.
So I'll start with you, Carrington. Like, what turned you on to PC gaming?
My dad actually, he built a PC when we were very young. I mean, my sister wasn't born yet. That's how long ago this was, and I remember it. And Donovan, I'm pretty sure he remembers it too. Yeah. So I've been around that kind of thing, just PC games in general, all my
Okay.
life. Donovan too, as well. He can, if he was here, he could agree with that and attest to that. So
Which
yeah, it was. What's that?
He's like the big flight sim guy, which a lot of, I mean,
Mhm.
most of his games, right?
You
I
there?
mean, yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here. Sorry, I don't know. It cut out for a second.
it's all right.
But yeah, so I mean, that's just the kind of stuff my dad would play with us when we were younger. Whether it be flight sims, Star Wars games, uh, racing games. I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Command and
Flight sims.
Conquer, flight sims.
Yeah.
Me and Dad were talking about Command and Conquer not so long ago. So I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Okay. And Cody, like you recently just built a PC, what, the last year?
Yeah.
So what made you change from going from console to PC?
I just wanted to try something different. I've always heard like the best game experience is on a PC. And I honestly just wanted to try it. I've been a console gamer for, I guess, all I can remember, except like the little mathgames.com or whatnot you
No,
play
yeah.
in school, just like, oh, I'm doing math, but it's not really math. But I wanted to try something different. PC gaming was that, and then one of my favorite games adapted to PC, so I built a PC and got into that, and
Okay.
I do agree. I like PC, like for first person shooters and stuff like that. I like that a lot better.
Okay.
Isn't it crazy of a difference playing Destiny 2 if you were to ever go back to the Xbox? How crazy that
Oh,
difference
I
is.
I hate it.
Isn't it awful?
I'm waiting for like Xbox to adapt. Like, oh, you can use mouse and keyboard now. Like, okay,
Well,
maybe, but no.
But
I
still,
mean,
the frames. The
I know.
frames.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you can use mouse and keyboard now with Xbox.
you can.
With
Okay.
some games.
Some games, yeah.
Um,
And that's the one thing you'll hear from a lot of PC gamers. It's all about the frames. Like, and if you haven't experienced the frame difference, you just don't understand unless you experience it. It definitely makes that much of a difference.
so, walking through, honestly, I was in Best Buy earlier, and I was looking at their computers and monitors and stuff, and their gaming PCs in the store go anywhere from $1,000 to $1,400.
Sounds about right.
Can someone like me, like that's a huge difference, like between a console and a PC. You know, you can pick up an Xbox One for $200 now.
You can even get an Xbox One X for what, $500 or $600.
Right, and that's 4K. That's that's everything you need to play games. Switch, you $300.
Mm-hmm.
PS4 Pro, $400. I think.
$400, I think. Yeah.
So, can I spend $500 and get the same quality for a PC?
Yes. Yes, you can, good sir. So those $1,000 to $1,400 gaming PCs, I mean, that's like top of the line, kind of like.
Because I want it, but I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Type thing.
Yeah. For sure.
So, what do you recommend for people that are wanting to get into PC gaming? Like, where to shop? What to look for? What is valuable to PC gamer? Like, do they need to focus their monies on video cards, RAM?
It's really hard to skimp on something. That's what makes it kind of PC gaming. Like, if you're gonna build something, it'll be a project for sure. Because my PC building, like my own PC that I have set up right now that I'm recording this podcast on, that I game on, I mean, it was a project. It wasn't just something I just
Poured money out.
Yeah, I didn't buy, because I was a college student, so I didn't have that kind of money at the time. So I started just 1 year. I started, and then it took me like 3 or 4 years total to get to where I am now. And I mean, that's not to knock anything like what Cody did, because I mean, he definitely had the money to do something like that. I just didn't, so I had to choose what parts to pick over time.
Yeah. And Cody, you basically built your PC in a matter of a couple months?
Yeah. I decided I was going to do it, and then like 6 months later, I had all the pieces, had it built. But like I built a budget PC, just get like kind of bottom of the line type thing, but able to be upgraded if I can. So, and I think that's one of the nice parts about a PC is it may be more expensive at the beginning, but when your PlayStation, when PlayStation, Sony decides to make the PS5, there's another $500 out of your pocket or $600 whatnot. But it's like, oh, I just need a new stick of RAM. Put $100 in your PC, and you can get more faster RAM and memory speeds and stuff like that. You're able to upgrade and pick and choose and stuff like that, which I think is a nice thing for really everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
that's
Kyle,
it.
and I was just gonna say really quick that you upgraded, like you were talking about upgrading your PC. You spent, I don't know the exact amount, even though I told you what to get. I know it was less than $200 total.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So in the video card that you sent me the link to, I don't know what the normal price for it is, but I bought it on eBay for like $35, I think.
Mm-hmm.
$30. And I looked it up on Newegg, and it was like $250 on there.
Yeah.
Is that normal? Like, because that didn't seem right. Like, why would somebody be selling that for so cheap on eBay when it's going for that normal price on a computer website? Like, that's literally what 10 or 8 times the price of what I paid for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, used cards, they depreciate. Like they do depreciate. But the other thing is with newer cards, a lot of times. So right now we are in an age where Bitcoin is a thing,
Yeah.
and so when I built my PC, my card was I think I paid $200 for it, and it's top of the line. Well, it's not top of the line. Top of the line. It's not super expensive, but it's not super cheap either. It's not. For those out there listening, I have a AMD R9 290. So, when it came out, it was, I don't even know how much it was brand new. But when I got it, it was $200 brand new. And now that card is worth almost $500 just because of
Wow.
of people who do stuff like Bitcoin and stuff. Those miners and stuff. They that's how they thrive. That's how they make their businesses. Is the blockchain is literally the video card does a lot of the a lot of the work and that stuff.
Yeah.
So
And
we are
that's
at
what,
an age. I was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say we're at an age right now where if I'm gonna do crypto mining, it definitely jacked the prices up on a lot of these cards, and so it's made building or upgrading PCs a little bit harder if you're trying to upgrade a card. But on the flip side of that, crypto mining is currently on a downtrend, so we should see the prices start to level out to where they're supposed to be here soon.
And I was talking to old host Caleb,
Mm-hmm.
Preheated Crab, and he said that all he did for his computer was buy a good video card, and he's able to play a lot of different games on it. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
spent I want to say like $200 on his video card.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
With me, I upgraded the processor, I upgraded my RAM, I doubled the RAM. I mean, it's not a huge amount, but it's 8 gigs, going from 4 to 8 gigs. And then, I'll be honest, I don't remember the processor that I got, but it's made a huge difference to even just now, being able to open up software and stuff. The computer I got was from my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even pay anything for it. And, we get the job done for recording our podcast. We get the job done for doing research and stuff. But when it came to playing games or messing with media on it, like, it took forever. And it was so slow and just not, I don't know. It was annoying
Yeah.
to edit the podcast with and try to download files and stuff or I don't know, install files, I guess. I have no problem with it now. Like, everything works perfectly. I'm excited to get the video card here in the next week and see how editing videos will be and possibly playing games with it will be. And like you said, I think I want to say I spent less than 150 for everything.
Oh. I wasn't sure. Because I know I know the power supply was the most expensive part.
It was $50 for the power supply. I think I paid $30, $35 for the RAM,
Mm-hmm.
and then processor was 27,
Mm-hmm.
and then the video card was like 35.
Yeah, it was roughly $135 to upgrade all
Yeah.
your stuff. That's not bad at all.
That's
No.
that's a little more than half the price of a console now, I guess. Well, for like an Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, an
Switch.
Xbox is $200.
Yeah,
But I
Switch.
mean, you're talking base Xbox. Who's even buying those anymore right now?
Yeah.
Like when
But
Donovan bought his Xbox, he got an Xbox One S.
Yeah. But I don't know what that'll allow me to play. I mean, Xbox, I can play the, latest and greatest video games that release on it.
Mm-hmm.
But this will still allow me to play games that I don't normally play, like League of Legends and stuff, hopefully.
Right. Well, you're definitely not going to be playing Skyrim on highest detail.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah, for sure. But
Me and Cody could, though.
yeah. But so yeah, I mean, It's for me, it was always intimidating thinking about the fact that I'm going to have to spend tons of money to get a computer to just play some games on.
Mm-hmm.
But I've kind of seen the light of PC
There you
gaming
go.
and equipment,
There you go.
and
Mm-hmm.
if you're wanting to get into Steam, playing games on Steam or Epic Store, I don't know. I mean, it's not as it doesn't have to be expensive as what you would think it is.
I actually wrote an article. It's the first article I wrote for Real Dudes Podcast. Oh, this was where are we? 2008. This is 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still up on our new site or not, because this is back when we had WordPress as our website. But I broke it down. You could still spend roughly the same amount of money as a new console when it first launched. So between $400 to $600 on a PC, and your games will look the same or better on a PC for the same price.
Yeah.
I had to do a ton of research to make it happen, but at the same time, it wasn't like. And a lot of people, and I think you can attest to this too, Kyle, now, and you, Cody, if I say this, building a PC is also not as daunting as it once was. It's pretty much it's like a puzzle piece. Just put the pieces where they go, and then
Plug
you
them
turn it
in.
on. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know much about computers. Like, you really don't need to know a whole computers to put one together. It's literally just putting everything where it belongs.
I kind of built a PC years ago to play like Final Fantasy. Was it 11? It's online.
That was the online one, yeah.
And then Guild Wars and a little bit of World of Warcraft. And I mean, even back then, it wasn't even that bad. It's literally just plug things in. You just gotta take your time and YouTube. And I had to call you for that stupid processor.
The processor, yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't 100% sure about that.
Yeah, Intel
Silver or whatever stuff you have to put on it.
Intel processors are fantastic for that, because AMD processors are a little bit annoying because they still use pens, so you got to be super careful not to bend or touch any one of those pens, which is what I have. I have an AMD processor.
Where you have to place it perfectly?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And then, because my motherboard, I found out, even though it says it supported the processor I have, it really doesn't. See, there's all kinds of little goofy things like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And so my motherboard fried, and it fried the processor in the process. I had to buy a new motherboard and a new processor.
And that's where that gets expensive.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So you got to do your research for sure.
Well, next on the list is a dank case for my PC.
Yeah.
Tons of LEDs.
Oh, yeah.
So
I should give you my case. Send you a link. It's only 3.5 feet tall, weighs 60 pounds without the parts inside of it.
That's all right.
Okay.
It's sounds pretty hefty.
It is. Which is why I don't travel with it very often.
Any other wise words for people wanting to build a PC or people that are on fringe about PC gaming?
Just jump into it, honestly. If you, in this day and age, if you don't know how to do it, either a friend or a family member does. Ask them, because the amount of research that has to be done to do it can be pretty overwhelming. So definitely ask for help on that end or aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kyle, when you asked me hey, what could I need to do to upgrade this? I mean, I had to start Googling. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know what you have. I don't, but once I figured things out, things came into place. And then from there, I mean, I think it probably spent a total of 30 to 45 minutes total researching stuff for you, which isn't too bad, but there is research involved. So just keep that in mind. It's not too bad a lot of times, but definitely get someone who knows what they're doing to help guide you.
Sweet. And I don't have anything else to say to that.
How about you, Cody? Going through it just about a year ago.
I'm a little lost, honestly. I'm sorry. It's late.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's all right. Well, we can just end on that then. If I guess I was gonna say, if you are lost for building a PC or something, you can always tweet at Carrington.
Yeah,
Because
I love doing this
he
stuff.
helped me. Yeah, he helped me. So you can follow us at RealDudes_pod on Twitter, Real Dudes Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And be sure to subscribe, leave us a review. We are excited to, read your reviews on the podcast. If you've played games that we have reviewed, feel free to let us know your thoughts on the games, and we will also discuss that on the podcast as well. Maybe your rating is a little different than ours. We don't mind discussing that and getting the general public's views of the games that we play. If you have questions, want off topics discussed on the show, email us at podcast@realdudespodcast.com. Thank you to our Patreons for continuing to support us. And you can check out our stores or our store on realdudespodcast.com/store. We've got shirts, coffee cups, bags, all the shindigs, cool stuff. So yeah, Cody Karrington and Cody and Karrington, thank you guys for hopping on here so late. I appreciate it. And everyone, have a rad day.
Jeez.